These universes all have one thing in common. They have a lover, and he draws family-friendly content. Well, except for those anime folks, not too sure what's up with that. Oh no, not again!
Hello, Lumpy here. Have you had a chance to go and watch Gorefield Horrorscopes complete? For the Gorefield Horoscope videos, you have to imagine you are John Arbuckle, and depending on your astrological sign, you've got a very special Gorefield chasing you. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a Cancer, and I've taken care of my Gorefield. There, all done. You smell that? That's the smell of success. Get the butter. So when you beat your Gorefield like I just did, you get some super cool loot. Wow. Loot you get depends on the horoscope monster you beat, and it powers you up. So now I've got cool Cancer powers?
Now the real question I'm asking myself here is just how good is my Cancer loot? If I were to compare it to the other horoscope loot I could have gotten if I had a different sign, does it stack up? What I think I need here is some sort of tier list.
So that's what I'm doing. This is my Gorefield Horoscopes loot tier list. You agree or disagree with my placings? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. What makes loot high tier to me is I can use it multiple times, and it makes my everyday life just that much better. Alright, with that in mind, let's get started.
Tier list time.
So, this might be a little controversial, but I'm putting Scorpio's Revival Sack in last place. This loot makes it so if you die from an accident, you revive at the start of the same day with the memory of how you died. And you know what? I've looked up the stats. You're not too likely to die from an accident over the course of your life. It's more likely to be something like heart disease. So I should really stop eating all this lasagna. So fucking good. And I just don't like the idea of loot that I would never be able to use. So I'm just gonna hope for the best and slap this down here. Right above it in 11th place, I'm gonna put Leo's Necro Worm. Oh, yeah. So what this does is this brings back someone from the dead. Could be yourself, could be a loved one. Only problem being is, you know, when a person is brought back to life, they slowly start to rot. And, you know, I'm all for second chances, but I feel like slowly turning into a pile of decomposing goo would be a bit of a downer. So that's going in 11th place. So in 10th place is Virgo's loot, which is pretty interesting. Think of it as like a cologne, and when you use it, you get to be extra charming. Even better, if you use a whole bunch of it, you can turn yourself invisible, which is awesome. I mean, finally, I'd be able to live out my fantasy of going to the grocery store, going to the bakery aisle, just squeezing all the loaves of bread. Anyone else feel the same way? No? Yeah, I think the main problem with Virgo's loot is you're gonna run out of it so fast. I mean, between a few bread squeezing adventures and a couple of nights on the town, I think you're gonna run out of this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it into 10th place. So up next is Aries' Dreamcatcher. This makes it so you only have to sleep half as much to feel refreshed. And not only that, your dreams are nice and relaxing. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like this. I like sleeping, and sometimes sleeping is the favorite part of my day. I don't want to stay up an extra 4 hours in the middle of the night and spend that time working. No. I've earned my sleep time. Let me relax, please. I like being able to doze off and have weird dreams, and they can be scary or spooky or strange. I get a lot of inspiration from dreams like that. Yeah, like the dream where the clown's trying to lick me. So nice try. This is definitely a scam. It's just trying to make me stay up and work more. No way, I'm gonna sleep. So Aries, you're getting 9th place. Up next in 8th place, it's Aquarius' loot, the Miracle Jar. And what this lets you do is it lets you turn human blood into a liquid of your choice. Well, I obviously know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn every precious drop of blood I can get my mitts on into liquid gold. Gold! Gold! I think the main problem with this loot is fairly obvious. Like, where do I go to get a hold of some human blood? You know, you can put out a Craigslist ad or two, but I feel like you get some mixed results. Like, maybe if you structured your life around being around blood, worked in a hospital, worked at a blood donation clinic, maybe if you bled yourself like a stuck pig. So, because of the inconvenience factor, Aquarius is relegated to 8th place. Coming up next is Cancer's Golden Claw. Now, this is my loot because I am a Cancer, so this is what I get stuck with. It lets me be the master of a random skill every day. And really, that's just the main problem with it right there, is you just really never know what you're gonna get. Like, tomorrow I can be a master assassin, and then the next day I'll be really good at crochet. You can't really plan your life around it, so it's just, it's okay. So I'm putting it in 7th place.
Top 6.
Coming up next in 6th place, it's Sagittarius. Sagittarius's loot gives you 30 silver coins, and these coins can be traded for anything, any type of good or service. So considering that I currently live in a little prairie house in Canada surrounded by snow and dirt and filth, I wouldn't mind upgrading to maybe a nicer house, upgrading from my wagon to some sort of car, 4 wheels ideally. Maybe buy some ointment for my skin condition. The only downside with this loot is, unfortunately, one of the 30 coins is cursed, and if you use it, it makes all the others disappear. So, you just have to roll the dice a little bit here and hope for the best. There'd be no way I'd be the unlucky person that would spend the first coin and have all of them disappear, right? That would just be far too miserable. So yeah, we're gonna slot that in 6th place. In 5th place, we've got Pisces with the Silver Spoon. Now, this piece of loot is incredible. It lets you make food out of water, any type of food that you've tried before, and you can use it 3 times per day. The only downside is that it has the nutritional value of water. Doesn't sound like a downside to me. Sounds like the best diet plan I ever heard of. To top it all off, you can go visit some real fancy restaurants and recreate those meals instantaneously at home. You'll be eating like royalty for the rest of your life. So for that reason, the Silver Spoon gets an easy 5th place. Okay, Capricorn's loot is called Handheld Device, and I'm a big fan. By doing a little Inspector Gadget hand motion, you can call anyone at any time just by saying their name. You can get reception anywhere, even on the moon! And even more crazy is, once per day, you can phone call someone in the past. Which means you're definitely going to become some sort of incredible detective with their own Netflix series. A murder with no witnesses. He's the one they call. John Callback.
Hello, this is Rebecca speaking.
Ma'am, I don't mean to alarm you, but there's a murder in your household. Now, if you could provide me with a brief description, height, weight, shoe size, that'll be very helpful for my investigation.
So yeah, it's convenient. You can't lose it unless you lose your hand, so that's great. I'm going to put that into 4th place. The loot I've got at 3rd place is Gemini's Clone. As the name implies, this allows you to clone yourself once per day. And this helpful clone does anything you say. And I mean anything. So I'm definitely chaining my clone down in the basement and forcing him to edit my videos. Yay! Only downside is this clone only lives a single day. So, it's gonna die, and you've got yourself a corpse. I mean, if you're making a clone every day, those corpses, they're piling up. So, I mean, hopefully you live next to a volcano, or maybe your uncle owns a sausage factory. Because, yeah, things are gonna get a little iffy if the police find a graveyard of skeletons at your house. But still, all things considered, an incredible piece of loot, slotting it in at number 3. Okay, now we're getting into the broken stuff. Coming in at 2nd place is Taurus's bookmark. You put the bookmark into a book, and in 3 days, you have memorized that book forever. So this is ridiculous. You'll easily become one of the smartest people in the world within a matter of like a month. I mean, here's a little pro tip. First thing I would do is put the bookmark right into a dictionary, because then you'll be able to like talk longer across the point of what you're saying, I can't really imagine a downside. Like, I guess you could lose the bookmark, which would suck. I also wonder, like, how much capacity a human brain has. Like, at some point, are you gonna overload yourself? I have no idea. One way or another, it's going into 2nd place. Number 1. Loot tier list.
Number 1.
Number 1. The number 1 loot, without a shadow of a doubt, goes to Libra's Scales of Virtue. This loot is all based on karma. If you have good karma, then your stats are doubled. You're twice as fast, twice as strong, twice as smart. Meanwhile, if you have bad karma, you lose a few IQ points, but you get to read minds. I mean, who wouldn't want to be psychic? That's incredible. The only downside to this loot is if your net karma is ever exactly even. Like if you've done just as many good things as bad things, then you are no longer able to breathe and you suffocate. So, if you're gonna be a little goody two-shoes, make sure to hold open the doors for all the little old ladies. And if you're gonna be evil, well, make sure to eat your neighbor's mail. So there it is, the most broken loot out of all of them. Can't lose it, it helps you in your everyday life, and it's awesome. First place for Libra's Scales of Virtue. And that concludes the tier list. There you go. What do you think? Do you agree with what I've come up with here? As I said, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're feeling spicy, I've actually made a tier list that you can do yourselves. I'll put a link to it in the description. I would really love it if you sent me a picture of your tier list on Twitter to @LumpyTouch. Maybe let me know why you changed up your choices. All right, well, thank you for watching my self-analysis normie YouTube content video. This is Lumpy signing off. Until next time.